try be a little bit more in your face today because there is no light whatsoever. It's just pretty annoying. But we have an overcast day, and like I said, I only have natural light, so fun. Anyway, on to book number 10, which is this bugger here, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about this book. A lot of good things about this book, and to get the good stuff out of the way, is very, very well written, structured in a very, very confident and clear fashion. It's got a very good plot as well, very well plotted, and it is an excellent exploration of the consequences of choices and action, the consequences of particular types of complicated friendships. But that's pretty much where it ends for me. Now, our main character is Richard Papin from Plano, California. He is from somewhat of a sort of working class background, lower working class background, and clearly doesn't like where he comes from. He's gone to community college and excelled in Greek and wants to get away, basically. So he applies to Hampden College in Vermont, and to his surprise he gets in, and it's what happens when he arrives. He wants to sign up for Greek, but the tutor for Greek, this Julian fellow, he's kind of picky, has like a very small group. Henry, Bunny, Charles, Francis and Camilla, who all appear to be from very wealthy backgrounds. I mean, they're from very old families on the whole, or very wealthy families on the whole, but the picture is not as complete as it would appear when we first meet them, or when Richard first meets them. Suffice it to say, he wants to get in with this group. He finally manages to get in with this group, and that's where things start to go a little bit strange. It takes him a while to sort of integrate. It takes him a while to be invited in. First, he gets invited out with Bunny to a very fancy dinner, and they eat all this food and run up a huge bill, and then Bunny's lost his wallet. And of course, Richard has no money because he's from Plano, and they have to call in Henry to pay for it. And we find out that that's a pretty common occurrence. At the centre of this whole book are a couple of murders. The first murder is the one that causes all the trouble for the main group, Henry, Charles, Camilla and Francis. I'm not going to go into that because I don't do spoilery reviews, but suffice it to say that Bunny is making life very difficult for the other four because of this first murder. The second murder is of Bunny. That's not giving much away, really, because you find out at the beginning of the book that they kill Bunny. And it's basically their obsessive, narcissistic absorption with themselves to the exclusion of all else drives everything in this book. Just the throwaway attitude about everyone they consider less than them. I don't think there's any need for it. I don't think there's any need for that kind of attitude, and I felt that it wasn't just limited to the characters. I felt that it was an integral part of the whole attitude of the book, and I didn't like it. And I came away pretty angry. And I'm still pretty angry, although it's more disgust now than anger. But yeah, I read it, and the second half was better than the first, as they sort of got into what happened after Bunny was killed and the whole disintegration of the group and everything. Bunch of wankers, really. And you know, I don't need nice characters. I don't. I'm not one of those people who needs to care for a character in order to get on with a book. I don't give a shit. As long as the character's interesting, you've got me. So in a sense, yes, the characters were interesting and they had me, but if it were just sort of a character thing, then I would feel a little bit better about it. But unfortunately, the very same snobbery, as I said, bleeds through the entire book. The attitude toward people of working class, the sort of down-the-nose view of it, just left me feeling fucking squicky. Yeah, that's that. Now next week, I was supposed to be, because I'm currently reading a book of Bukowski's poetry, but I'm struggling. And I'll get into that a little bit more in depth when I get round to that. It's not that it's bad poetry, some of it's very, very good poetry, but some of it's also extremely filler. So, next time, for my 11, I will be doing a book that's a biography or autobiography. I've chosen memoirs, and I've chosen Maya Hornbaker's, or Maya Hornbacher, I have no idea how to say it, her books about her eating disorder and her bipolar disorder. I read Wasted when I was a teenager, and it had a massive effect on me. Not because I've ever had an eating disorder, but because I am disordered, and so it really had a massive impact on me. And the book on bipolar had a massive impact on me reading it this time, so I will get into that next week and talk more about it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next Friday.